Vinyl Gang, we've got a great show coming your way. And it's a show that kind of came about in a little conversation, but we've done something similar with our favorite producers. But this one, we're going to just isolate and talk about one producer.
One very famous / controversial producer who has seemingly owned the pop, rock, rap, country world for going on like 45 years now.
Yeah.
Tell us who it is, John.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, the Zen master, the Buddha, the guy that so many people have worked with and subsequently had great success with.
Yeah, and when you see Rick, you think, wow, this guy's an extra from Duck Dynasty.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is with the beard, but he's had it like almost his whole career.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a thing.
I mean, well, and now it's one of those things that he's had it for so long. That's how people see him, so he's kind of got to keep it.
Yeah, or
he's like ZZ Top.
If he wanted anonymity, he could shave it off and walk around the streets of New York and never be bothered. Although he may not be bothered anyway.
I bet he's somebody that blends in, that people are like, he's just another beard guy.
It could be. Hey, while we're at it, we want to tell you guys to go to our Fourth Wall page. You can join. You can join there for free. You can join at different levels. You can see behind the scenes stuff, extra video stuff, specialized merch. And we want you to go to that YouTube page, subscribe if you haven't, because we're only like 29 subscribers away from 1,000. And on the socials, John, what would we like our fine viewers to do?
Like, subscribe, share, and comment.
Comment. We love the back and forth. It's been an interesting summer, hasn't it, John?
It sure has.
We've been busy. We've done so much, and now we're back in the saddle. We're talking about Rick Rubin, our favorite albums that he's produced. Do you want to start us off with your first Rick Rubin album and give us a little background on it?
I think I will.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with...
I'll take this.
The Beastie Boys.
Of course you are.
Yes.
I love this. I've always loved the cover. I've never been a fan of the album, but this was your album, right? This was like...
Yeah, it came out in 86 when I was in college, and it was, for lack of a better term, it was a fraternity anthem.
Yeah, like any party you go to.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you'd hear this.
Yeah, and basically the whole album is party music.
Yeah.
Is kind of frat boy party music.
Which they kind of were bros before bros were a thing. Right?
Yeah, they really were.
And they weren't really like fratty. They were more these three white kids from New York City just being hip hop dudes.
Yeah, and they were punk before they were rap.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point. And you listen to that stuff in context of this and like Paul's Boutique. It's crazy the breadth of music that these guys were into and put out.
Yeah. And this is their this is their first commercial big release. Mm-hmm. Yep. And to have a guy like Rick Rubin kind of influencing, who knows how much he really produces, but he definitely has influence. Well,
I mean, if you read Rick's early life stuff, his real name is Frederick J. Rubin, born into a Jewish family in Long Beach, New York. He founded Def Jam Recordings. He founded Def Jam Recordings when he was in college at New York University. Then he joined a band where he played guitar. And in '82, a Hose track became Def Jam's first release, a 45 7-inch, in a brown paper bag with no label. The band played in and around New York City punk scene and toured the Midwest and California and played with a seminal hardcore band with seminal hardcore bands like Meat Puppets, Husker Du, Circle Jerks, Butthole Surfers, and Minor Threat. So there you see his relationship with like punk and rock.
Yeah.
And then he was friends with Fugazi frontman and Discord Records owner Ian MacKaye. That band broke up in 1984 as Rubin's passion moved toward the New York City hip-hop scene. And then he befriended Zulu Nation's DJ Jazzy J, and he began to learn about hip-hop production. And it goes on from there. It's such an interesting, like, winding road. But eventually, I mean, he was involved with bands like Public Enemy, LL Cool J, Beastie Boys. It's amazing.
Yeah.
He was plugged into the scene, so obviously having those connections and, you know, moving into a style of music that maybe before that he had no idea about, and he is the guy. He eventually formed Deaf American Records with Russell Simmons.
Yeah.
And then
We know where that all went.
and that blew up. And Deaf American eventually became American. But he's also been a co-president of Columbia Records. I mean,
His influence is broad.
right. And it's almost like all of these groups and individuals that record with him are recording on that ever like increasing reputation that he has as kind of being the guy. So what was it about this? I mean, I know it was played at parties. It was all over MTV. What was it about this that, like...
I mean, if you're going to... They need to just put fun on the front cover. It's just a very fun record.
Yeah, yeah. I love the gatefold cover, and then you just have, like, the picture of them. Right
yeah, and I mean, really in the picture, they look as much punk as they do rap.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think the music industry was ready for the Beastie Boys.
No.
It just out of nowhere, like these three guys are, and you have to admit the way they looked has got to have a lot to do with hip hop being welcomed into so many suburban kids' homes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, before these guys, you had it was a black medium.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe there's some thought put into that, like, hey, if we have these guys doing this, we can make it a little more palatable. Because you also have to remember that not long before this, you had the whole PMRC thing with Tipper Gore and putting parental advisory stickers on albums. And then, you know, that kind of fizzled out because I think they figured out if you put a parental advisory sticker on it,
more people are going to want to buy it.
More kids are going to want to buy it.
Yeah.
But you cannot minimize the role that MTV played in their success as well.
No, and it was, I mean, it was kind of a new style of music. It wasn't just straight up hip hop rap. Yeah. It was rap rock.
Yeah.
Which lasted throughout the 90s.
Yeah. And, you know, we'll talk about this band later because Rick Rubin was a large figure early on in their career, but Slayer, I have heard that a lot of those guitar pieces that are on this record were actually played by Kerry King of Slayer.
Yeah.
And isn't that crazy?
It's mind-boggling. Well, and I mean, when a guy like Rubin has that much influence and can call, hey, Kerry, can you come over and...
Yeah, it's nutty. I mean, I just read that a couple months ago. I was like, because one of the things that bothers me about the record is the way that guitar sounds. I mean, it literally sounds like it's being played through a freaking soup can, through a plastic or a paper bag, and it always like grated on me, even when I was young. But I'm almost positive that's Kerry King playing at least a good deal of those guitar parts. And I think he's also said that he made like $50 for recording that. So that's a funny little side story. But I knew that this would be like your number one.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that band that this guy has had something to do with that they connect with.
Yeah, it's when he casts a swath across so many different genres. It's impossible not to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a good one, man. I love it. And Eminem, one of his albums, he kind of played on this, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of rips it off a little bit. But that's okay.
Well, I'm sure he was a big fan of the Beastie Boys too.
Sure.
So, well, that's a good one, man. I like it.
What's your first one?
My first one is probably my intro to Rick Rubin. I may have heard other stuff before it, but when Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out, I was all in. I mean, it was 91, September 24. That's a long time ago. But at that time, it was really before the rap and new metal or metal thing happened later in the 90s. I had never heard a mix of rap and funk and rock and soul like there is on this record. And once I started listening to it, I didn't stop. And the singles from this, and it's funny because I just heard Give It Away on the way in here today. Just the very last part of the song, but it was on. So I thought that was fortuitous.
It was a sign.
It was fortuitous. But yeah, man, this is one of those records that was outside of my purview that once I started listening to. It was probably much the same that the Beastie Boys was for you. It's like you didn't recognize it. It wasn't like anything you'd ever heard. Everybody seemed to love it.
Yeah.
And you just listened to it over and over and over.
And I saw them on that tour, and they were amazing.
Yeah. I mean, just full of fire. Mother's Milk had some moderate success. The big single off that, I think, was Higher Ground.
Yeah.
But this is another level altogether.
And it's funny, sometimes they would get lumped in with the grunge movement.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it was going on
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really think that the record labels they didn't know what the hell was going on, because you still had, if you think about it, you still had the 80s hard rock hair bands, as I hate them to be called, but I'll say that because people recognize it. Then you had the grunge movement kind of shoving those guys out of the way. Then, along with the grunge, you had alternative. And then something like this. I mean, they love to classify and put people in boxes and stuff. But the early 90s was just a collision of so many different styles of music and kinds of artists that, you know, and if you think about it, a couple years later, you had kind of the alt country bands come out with Wilco and Jayhawks, which Rubin was also involved with those guys. So it was a schizophrenic time.
It really was.
For music. But this album had, I think, 5 singles. Had Give It Away, Under the Bridge, Suck My Kiss, Breaking the Girl, and If You Have to Ask. And they were all released within about, looks like 6-7 months. So, actually, no, that's not right. If You Have to Ask was released in 93 in February, and Give It Away was September of 91 when the album came out. So there's just so much going on here. Yeah. And it really holds up too.
I think all their stuff doesn't feel dated.
Right. And you know, they had a lot of inner turmoil with band members coming, going, leaving, overdosing, dying. In John Frusciante's case, coming to the band, leaving the band, coming back to the band, leaving the band, coming back to the band.
Yeah.
So, you know, Chad Smith, one of the best drummers out there. Then, of course, Flea on guitar or on bass. This band, they started as teenagers in Los Angeles, and they've been doing it ever since. And I don't love everything they do, but this album absolutely holds a special place.
Yeah, that it's one of those essential albums.
Yeah.
Because front to back, it's great.
And it's like CD era too.
Yes.
So there's like 15, 16 songs on here.
Yeah.
Which, after the CDs became the standard, bands started filling up that bandwidth on the compact disc with more and more stuff, outtakes, or just songs that maybe otherwise wouldn't have fit on two-sided
that
record.
wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. All right, man. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Go get it. Listen to it, kids. Play
Nice
it loud.
one. So let's stay in the 80s with my next one.
Oh,
Run DMC, Raising Hell.
this is another groundbreaking
Yeah.
album.
And this is full on hip hop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's guitar mixed in. I mean,
Yeah, there's guitar mixed in, but I mean, this is hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say it's less rap and more hip hop.
Yeah, for sure. And, the big one on here is obviously Walk This Way, which I love the way this looks. This looked cool on a record. This looked cool in the cassette. Like just the colors they
it's
chose.
Just really, really good cover art design.
Yeah. And let's not forget to mention Jam Master Jay, too, R.I.P. He was a huge part of Run DMC's success. But Walk This Way. I mean, is that the first single off of this?
The first single was My Adidas.
Oh, okay.
Which came out in May of 86, and then Walk This Way was July of 86.
Okay, and we would be remiss if we did not point out that collision, I mean, you're talking about Aerosmith, who had just put out what was supposed to be their comeback album, Done with Mirrors, and I think it's a great album, but it wasn't the comeback that they were looking for.
No.
And then they did the remake of Walk This Way, which, you have the hip hop beat colliding with the guitar of Joe Perry.
Yeah.
And there you go. There you go. You have a black hip hop rap band playing a 70s classic.
Crossover.
Crossing over, being played on hip hop stations, being played on pop stations, rock stations.
Everywhere.
All over MTV. And in the video, they're like on a soundstage and there's a wall between them. And they're quite literally breaking down that wall.
Yeah.
As the video goes on. I mean, you cannot overstate how important that was to this, because I think just a much more eclectic consciousness was born of these two bands getting together.
Absolutely.
And this whole record is just fun to listen to.
It's another fun record.
Yeah, yeah.
And my favorite song was the last single released, and they released it in 87.
Yeah.
It's Tricky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, you got Peter Piper, It's Tricky.
It just goes on and on.
Yeah. Run's House is on here too, right? I think. Yeah. It's tricky. Oh, it opens up with Peter Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
And that wasn't even a single released, which
Yeah.
is surprising.
Yeah. Well, I have this. It's a picture disc. I do not have any of their stuff on vinyl. I need to do something about that.
Yeah, this was the one I had to have when it was available.
Yeah.
And I did get it for It's Tricky because I love that song.
Yeah. It's great. The whole thing is great. I mean, they are pioneers for sure. I'll never forget. I think I've told the story before, but I went to see Aerosmith on tour maybe 15 years ago, 16 years ago, and they had Run DMC opening.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the show was supposed to start at 7:30. So we get there just right before 7:30, and lo and behold, from the parking lot, I can hear Run DMC performing. So they actually started 30 minutes before, and I only got to see the very end of their performance.
That's
and I
cool.
was so freaking pissed off that they didn't start the show when it was what it said on the ticket.
Yeah.
And then not long after that, like maybe 5-6 months, Jam Master Jay was shot and killed. And I was really, really bummed. But anyway, that's that. But Aerosmith, there you go. They're taking Run DMC out on the road with them. Definitely very beneficial relationship for both parties.
Yeah, and their relationship with they're a Queens band, so they're right in Rubin's neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that, and I haven't read any of the stuff. I know that Rick Rubin has a podcast that a lot of people talk about. I really haven't dug into it. I'm pretty narrow in my scope when it comes to podcasts. But I would think that once Rick was introduced to this hip hop stuff and it appealed to him the way that it did, that he probably saw it as an opportunity for it to be appealing to any kid, any white kid, any kid of any race, ethnicity, or religious belief. And that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing, being able to share cultural things and music that was created by a certain culture to many people out there. And it's just another form of reverence and communication.
And this was I think this was the first hip hop rap album nominated for a Grammy.
Did it win?
I don't think it won.
Yeah.
It won for best
Record?
rap album.
Best. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that they were nominated for a Grammy, that breaks the music genre into a whole new stratosphere.
Oh yeah, and rap and rock have combined to become new metal and a lot of different types, like Linkin Park, and there was I can't remember the name of this. There was a soundtrack that paired hip hop groups with metal groups, and I'll think of it before we're done here, just like you remembered Dave earlier. But no, this is a good one. This is great.
Yeah.
And again, his fingerprints are all over this.
Yeah, and it shows his growing influence.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's a good one, man. I want to take another look at the back here. There you got Jay with him. Yeah, that's just very cool. I remember seeing this in the record store and just these colors, and my eye immediately went to them.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
You're up.
I'm up.
What do you got?
Well, we are talking about rap and rock. What about metal? What about these metal bands? This is Death Magnetic by Metallica, and it's their 9th record. It came out in 2008. This was looked at as like a return to form for Metallica after having their dalliances with different styles and sounds and things like that. And Rick was at the helm for this. And there's a lot of controversy about this album being being mastered way too hot. So we don't need to get into that. But as far as Metallica playing music that sounds like music you want to hear from Metallica, across the board, this album came out, and it was received pretty positively by most people. And Rick was the producer here, and I just love the black and white art on this.
Yeah.
And if you look at the gatefold, which thank God it's a gatefold, you've got lyrics and then you've got portraits of the guys. Just, sunglasses, leather, black. That's Metallica.
Looking very metal.
But I remember the first time I heard this, I got it on CD, and I think the first song was "Broken, Beaten, Scarred," maybe not, but I heard that and I was like relieved, because it wasn't an album with Lou Reed, it wasn't Load or Reload, it wasn't the Black Album. It sounds the way that you kind of expect Metallica to sound. And they had The Day That Never Comes was a release from this. My Apocalypse, All Nightmare Long, that's a really good one. And Broken, Beaten, Scarred was the last single, so I was wrong. The really polarizing album from them is Saint Anger.
Yeah.
And, I remember when that came out, I bought it. I was working in Louisville, and I had an opportunity to go to a record store, so I bought it and I threw it in my CD player in my car, and I'm like, what am I listening to?
This is not Metallica.
Yeah.
Did they mess up?
Yeah. Bob Rock was the producer on Saint Anger and the Black Album, and a lot of their successful stuff and other bands' successful stuff. But this is Metallica kind of coming around the horn and honing in on that thing that their fans love about them. And
now, was this... How many had Rubin already done a bunch of other metal bands by the time he hit this?
Because he was involved with Slayer for like their first 2 or 3 albums.
Okay, so
like in the mid 80s.
Yeah, so he had already cut his teeth. He knew metal and he knew what they were looking for.
Yeah, and then he would go on to produce a lot of other metal bands. If you look at the metal bands, Danzig was one of the first ones. Slayer, Metallica, the Cult. The Cult was an early one. We may or may not talk about that. Linkin Park, System of a Down, Slipknot, Audioslave, AC/DC. I mean, when it comes to if you look at the stuff he's done the most, it may be rock and hard rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly in the modern era.
Yeah. So, and then he did an album with the Dixie Chicks that sold millions of copies. So I think he's sort of like an open tap. And a lot of people who love working with him say that he is able to make those groups, their creativity flow for them. You talk to other bands, like he produced Black Sabbath's 13. If you talk to Geezer Butler, he still doesn't know what Rick Rubin had to do with that record.
Yeah.
So, there's two sides to every story. But yeah, I mean, whatever he does and has continued to do, it pretty much works.
Yeah. Whatever his influence is,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. And when you're a producer and you have sustained success, then everybody wants to work with you.
Yeah.
And I think, early on, his involvement with hip hop may have made some artists and bands leery of working with him, but you can't, the numbers do not lie.
No.
So, he has just become more and more popular and more successful. And there is a really, really good record that he produced for Neil Diamond called 12 Songs. And it's just Neil and an acoustic guitar. And it is fantastic. When it came out, I got it. But I haven't been able to get it on vinyl. I think it's way up there.
It's probably way up there if it's not a reissue.
Yeah. But, Metallica, Death Magnetic. Give it a listen. Let us know what you think about the way it sounds.
Yeah. That's a good one.
What's your next one?
Well, you mentioned them, so we're bringing them up. The Cult, Electric.
What a great record.
This was the band's third album. It came out in 87, and I was in college, and I love the first single off this, Love Removal Machine.
My promising local band many years ago played Love Removal Machine. I'll never forget it. It's a great song.
It is a amazing song.
They are such an interesting band because they are they're like a punk band that has just gotten more heavy and metal through the years.
Yeah.
Ian Astbury, what a voice. I mean, he sounds
his voice is just, it's otherworldly.
Yeah, and to me, it sounds like he's channeling Jim Morrison.
Well, yeah.
And Billy Duffy on guitar.
Yeah.
Just those like guitar licks that you hear and they stick in your mind. Like the beginning of She Sells Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
The beginning of Love Removal Machine. There's so many like guitar licks that he comes up with that you just can't get out of your head.
And if you've ever seen Layer Cake, there's a scene where they're driving into a country club and it's a drone shot and Love Removal Machine kind of open, and it's just like, it's so perfect.
Is that a Guy Ritchie film?
It's funny. It's Guy Ritchie's producer. His first outing.
Oh, okay.
But it very much looks like a Guy Ritchie film.
I know you've talked about that a lot. I still have not watched it. I need to do that. No, Electric is just such a freaking great album. I love the pictures on the back too.
Yeah.
What else is on here?
Wildflower,
Peace Dog, Lil Devil, Aphrodisiac Jacket,
Wildflower
Electric Ocean.
was the third single, and Lil Devil was the second single.
Oh, and their version of Born to Be Wild is on here.
Yep.
Oh man, let's open this up. Yeah, I don't love the Born to Be Wild remake, but the whole album as a whole is really good.
Yeah,
I love this too with all these live.
Yeah,
shots
the collage shot.
Very cool.
I had tickets to see the Cult in '89.
Oh, did you? Oh, for Sonic Temple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my wife's sister was flying in town, and I had to skip it.
Oh man, that was like the height for them.
Oh yeah,
because Firewoman, like that was on MTV like every 10 minutes. They really that kicked things off for them. I think Bob Rock produced that album.
He may have.
I think he produced Sonic Temple. No, the Cult, man. Of all the bands that I've seen multiple times, I've probably seen the Cult. The Cult is probably in my top 5 as having seen them the most. I've probably seen them 7 or 8 times, and they're just great every time.
And I guess Rubin had because this followed up their first release, this was their third release, but it followed up Love.
Yeah.
And so Rubin saw a harder edge for this album. And this is a hard rockin' album.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so great.
I mean the guitars just sound perfect.
The guitars sound great. The drums sound great. His vocals were recorded well. I don't think I have this. I have Sonic Temple, but I don't think I have Electric. And I'm going to have to do something about that. Yeah, man. If you're a punk aficionado, go get this, because this is a great record. And I don't think the Cult overall, even though Sonic Temple exploded, I don't think they get the respect that they deserve, for sure.
But the funny thing is, what Rubin brought to the table, he also said that he didn't like the guitar effects they used on the previous releases.
Right.
So he wanted to strip that down and get rid of it and just do
distortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that comes from him working with Slayer and some of these other bands and thrash metal bands.
Yeah, it could. No, that's a good one, man. I always have and always will love the Cult.
Here's something funny. According to Asbury, Rick asked us, do you guys want to make English pussy music or do you want to make rock? That,
Well, I mean, it's very to the point.
yeah, very to the point. But that kind of sets the stage.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what this guy's influence is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What year did this come out?
87.
87. So it's
Or 80.
It's fresh on the
Yeah,
heels.
87.
Fresh on the heels of Beasties, fresh on the heels of Run DMC.
Yeah.
So he's just headlong into this thing where his reputation is the reason that people are asking him to produce.
Yeah. And I mean, when he kicks off the meeting like that kind of tells you, oh,
I'm sure Billy Duffy loved that.
yeah. I mean, if I'm in a band, it's like, and somebody says that, it's like, yeah.
Of course. I don't want to make English, what music.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'd never heard that. They're great. Everything they do is great. And they've kind of, their last 3 or 4 albums have kind of been different, almost like hard prog rock. But if you get a chance to see these guys, just go. You're not.
They
you're
put
not
on
gonna,
a fabulous show.
They put a great show on, and they always have really good opening bands. So I love it when bands that are established open that stage to other bands. So that's an excellent one, man. I
The
love
Cult, Electric. You're up.
Well, we were just talking about these guys. This is Slayer, Rain and Blood, and this came out October 1986. So at the same time that he's working with Run DMC and Beastie Boys, he's working with like one of the big 4 thrash bands. So Slayer composed the material for this following their return from a tour of Europe. Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman wrote much of the album's music on their own and quickly taught it to drummer Dave Lombardo, Dave Lombardo just absolutely kills it on this. So the singles from this are Postmortem, was released probably when the album came out, and Criminally Insane, released in the next year, 1987. My favorite song on this is the one that opens it up, and it's Angel of Death. And you've got Piece by Piece, Necrophobic, Altar of Sacrifice, Jesus Saves, Criminally Insane, Reborn, Epidemic, Postmortem, and Raining Blood. So,
Where would this rank on Slayer's albums?
what number was it?
No. Where would you rank it? I don't care about that.
The funny thing is I'm not a huge Slayer fan, but
Yeah.
I love Angel of Death and I love Raining Blood. This was their 3rd album. This is the only album of theirs that I have.
So this would be your number one?
Yeah. This is it. And they took the thrash thing, and the satanic type look with all of their artwork and stuff. Here they are on the back with cans of Stella Artois. They took it and just ran with it and have always been like on the more extreme side for those big 4 thrash bands. If you think about it, all of those thrash bands, well, Metallica for sure has crossed over and had, hits. Megadeth has crossed over and had hits. Anthrax, not as big, but also crossed over and become more rock, hard rock, heavy metal. But Slayer is in a category all of their own, because they're just a little more extreme than those other 3 groups. But I always think it's so interesting that the same guy that was producing hip hop is working with Slayer.
Yeah.
And it's this is their 3rd album, but it was released on Def Jam. So when you think about it, not only is the producer kind of skating between different genres of music, but Def Jam is releasing and recording so many different kinds of music.
Yeah, it's not just hip hop.
Yeah, and I don't think record companies at the time knew what to make of that. Because most record companies are very specific in, what they put out on this label or that label, because Warner's got multiple. Warner has Elektra, Atlantic. So this is a totally new approach, not just from a producing standpoint, but also from building a record company. So I just always loved this picture of them on the back. They probably just came off stage and finished 2 or 3 of those Sixers. But if you haven't listened to Rain and Blood, give it a listen. It's, it is, it'll wake you up for sure.
A good morning record.
Yeah, a good morning record. What is your next one, John?
Well,
watch it.
a rock and roll album, AC/DC Ball Breaker.
AC/DC cannot go too long without reference to balls.
And this was their 13th studio album.
13th album. What year did this come out?
It came out in 95.
95, okay. This is also 30 years old.
Yeah.
30 years ago.
30 years ago.
Man, it seems like it. When you look at the types of bands that Rick was producing, it seems strange that it took him that long to be working with AC/DC.
Yeah, it really does, because it seems like that was his wheelhouse.
Yeah, and AC/DC is just straight ahead rock and roll. They're doing the same thing they did when they first recorded Today.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what was the big single?
The first single was Hard as a Rock.
And that's what opens the record.
Then Hail Caesar, then Cover You in Oil.
Okay. Yeah. This isn't one that I pull out a lot to listen to. I'm more, man, I love Brian Johnson. Obviously he came in and kind of took that band through its most successful years. But when I hear that Bon Scott stuff, I just absolutely love Bon Scott era AC/DC. I love Highway to Hell, Powerage. Those records are like essential as far as I'm concerned. I can't remember if they were on the essentials list.
And, it's funny that this is the next album, because during the recording of The Cult, he would step outside an airwalk and he would hear AC/DC, Back in Black, Highway to Hell, all these songs that were kind of big on rock radio at the time. And he's like, what's going on here?
No, that's great. AC/DC, there aren't a lot of things that you can count on in this world to be, consistent. And AC/DC always has been.
Yeah.
They're more contemporary stuff. Like I said, I listen to less, but when you look at the smattering of people who are super famous right now, pop stars and, hip hop stars and stuff, it's nice to know that when AC/DC plays a concert, they're going to sell it out. People want to hear that music. They want to hear the whole songbook. And it just does your heart good to know that they're still there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that they're going to be around that much longer.
Yeah, it's the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
Old Father Time.
Yeah.
But this was not the first time Rubin had worked with AC/DC.
Oh, really?
He he produced a song for a soundtrack, Big Gun, which was on Last Action Hero, and that song was a #1 rock hit. So that's probably the impetus for them saying, "Hey, Rick, would you like to produce an album?"
Was that on the Razor's? Was that on the Razor's Edge as well?
It may have been.
I think it might have been. But that Last Action Hero soundtrack, man, that's great because that had Alice in Chains. It had,
Oh yeah.
it just had Queensryche, AC/DC. It was a really, really great soundtrack. I think that might have been an RSD release a couple of years ago.
It
I'll
may
have
have
to
been.
look into that.
That'll be a good one to have on the radar to pick up.
Yeah. Add that to the list that I never look at. Well, AC/DC is always a good one to go with.
Yeah.
I love it. Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
You're up.
Well, we don't have to belabor Wildflowers. This is my Finding Wildflowers alternate versions album. Forever, this came out in '94, I think, and forever people were wanting it to be re-released on vinyl. And then Petty, unfortunately, passed away. And, there was a lot of stuff with his estate. Originally, they wanted to release Wildflowers as a double album, and they only released it as a single. So there were other songs and obviously different versions of the songs on this. But when you think of a career high watermark for Tom Petty, Wildflowers is it, and Rick Rubin was the producer. This came out November 1st, 1994. Singles from Wildflowers, You Don't Know How It Feels, that was a huge hit. You Wreck Me, and It's Good to Be King. And I don't know that. I've heard stories. I've heard Rick Rubin actually tell a story of Tom playing him a song, like a fully formed, just him and the guitar, a fully formed song, music and lyrics, and he gets done, and Rick goes, "Oh, that's excellent. That's beautiful. When did you write it?" And Tom says, "Just now." So I think, Tom Petty had been involved. I mean, he had Full Moon Fever in the late 80s, then the Traveling Wilburys, and then this. I think that he was in that sweet spot of his career where everything was a song. He was just an open tap of musical creativity. And he had Rick Rubin to help him, capture that and find that. And anytime I can put this album on and really, really enjoy it. And I remember the first time I heard You Don't Know How It Feels, I was like, Petty trying to be Dylan.
But it grew on you.
It really grew on me, and man, that's such a great song.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'd heard a story that they wanted, just a boom, ja, boom, boom, ja. They wanted to like build a song around that beat, and then that song happened. And, he talks about Roll Another Joint, and a lot of that would be censored on a lot of radio stations. I think they censored it on MTV. But the whole way through this album, I mean, You Wreck Me is kind of the biggest departure because it's kind of a more hard-rocking song, and the rest of them are more acoustic, laid back. This is just such a great album, and I'm glad that it finally got re-released because there was a time when an original pressing was like $300 or $400.
Yeah, when it was way spendy.
Yeah, but this just goes to show that Rick Rubin had his hand on all types of stuff.
Yeah, because I mean, this is a kind of a singer-songwriter is a whole new area for him to cover.
Yeah, for sure. Man, he did it really beautifully. I love this picture of Tom on the back here. When you have somebody that's on a roll like that, it's one of those things is like knowing when to jump in and when to like stand back and just let it happen. And that's kind of the idea I get from the little pieces of interviews I've heard from people that have worked with him and recorded with him is like, he manages to help you find that avenue and you just get in the car and drive down it.
Yeah, he's not a heavy-handed producer.
Right. And sometimes he may not even be there.
Yeah.
But
it works.
Yeah. check out the Finding Wildflowers if you have the means. There's alternate versions and some different songs on here. The original album is a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we are lucky that we live in a time when we can hear this kind of stuff. So, Wildflowers, kids.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Well, let's stay in the singer-songwriter vein.
Oh,
Sorry, Jacob, I still have the plastic on it.
I love the branding on all of these albums that he did. This is Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash 4, When the Man Comes Around.
When the Man Comes Around. And it's all so starkly put together, like black and white photos. And you know, this is toward the end of Johnny's life. And it's just much like that Neil Diamond record that I mentioned. It's just Johnny and a guitar.
Yeah, and it's mostly covers.
Mostly covers. So he's doing is Hurt on this one?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the biggie.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggie. Even Trent Reznor says that may be a better version of that song than theirs.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got a guy who is a country legend, a rock and rockabilly legend in his later years. And here's Rick Rubin, who just worked with Slayer.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting.
It really is. And this was, any guess on which studio release this was for Cash?
Oh, 80s, in the 80s?
67th studio album.
67 studio albums. Those country guys just put music out.
Well, and he'd been around a long time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Longer than a lot of people. Huh. I love the square hype sticker. 67, huh?
67.
Man, and this is the fourth one that he did with Rick.
Yeah, yeah.
How many did he do? Was it 5?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. American 5 was the final album. And then
unbelievable.
all the 5 albums have come out in a box set, Unearthed.
Yeah.
But he does, on this one, the 2 singles were Hurt and Personal Jesus.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Cash's take on those songs, I love covers that are done different than the original.
Oh, it's definitely different.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I love his version of Personal Jesus. I like that song too.
I do too.
You know, that's Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
And they had a huge hit with it. It's interesting. I don't know what the story is. It's interesting to me for Johnny Cash. It had to be at the behest or urgence of Rick to say, hey, why don't you do this 9 Inch Nails song? But you never know. Johnny might have been hip to 9 Inch Nails at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that I'm sure that story is an interesting one.
It's just interesting that, you know, Johnny Cash worked with Rick Rubin for 5 albums.
Yeah. And I think that it wasn't a long span of time. I mean,
no.
I think part of Rubin's urgency was just knowing that Johnny was getting up there, and wanted to plow through as much as he could with him.
Yeah.
But it's so great because, I mean, this is a guy who's well past the biggest part of his career, you know, but he's always one of those figures in country music, especially that just is enormous. And it's an amazing collision of 2 forces that you never would expect to work together.
Yeah.
And I don't have any of this on vinyl. I really need to get it.
This one came up. I saw it as a deal, and I've wanted it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I snatched it, listened to it this weekend. I love this album.
Is Rusty Cage on this one too? The Soundgarden.
Let's see.
I don't remember, but Bridge Over Troubled Water, The Man Comes Around. That's such a great song.
No, it's not
Danny
on.
Boy,
It's not on this one.
Personal Jesus, First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. Yeah. I love his version of Rusty Cage too. And I think that when he recorded that again, I think Chris Cornell is like, oh, what is happening here?
What is
Is
happening?
this my song?
Yeah.
No, that's a great one, man. Are you keeping the shrink on it just for the hell of it?
No,
Oh,
I just
okay.
haven't had time to remove it.
Okay.
I
Well,
wanted to listen.
Yeah. If you would like me to cut the hype sticker off for you, I can do it.
You're good at that. And it's square.
It is. It's square. I mean, it has rounded edges, but
We're going to call it square.
we're going to call it very close to square. That's an excellent one, man.
Yeah, so cash when the man comes around.
And then point of parliamentary procedure. Originally, this was Deaf American, and then they changed it. I think I read something about Rick hearing Al Sharpton speak and saying it had something to do with hearing Al Sharpton speak. So they took the deaf, even though deaf meant like cool in the hip hop slang. I think a lot of people took it as those who could not hear. So they just nixed it, and it's just American recordings. So just a little side story there.
So the man's come around, so now he's leaving, and you're up.
And another Deaf American or American album that Rick had his hands all over is the Black Crowes' first one, Shake Your Moneymaker, which we've talked about a couple times. This album is so great. It came out in 1990, February 13th. It's the only album by the band to feature guitarist Jeff Cease. The album is named after a classic blues song written by Elmore James. And the singles from this were Jealous Again, Hard to Handle, Twice as Hard, She Talks to Angels, and Seeing Things. But, you know, I remember the first time I heard the Black Crowes, I was like, who is this doing an impression of the Rolling Stones? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they everything is there. It's the swagger, the gritty dirtiness. I mean, however they captured that, they really, really did. And then to do a cover of an Otis Redding classic and just do such a great version of it, it's pretty amazing. These guys are from Atlanta, Georgia. Critical reception was very favorable, or mostly favorable. Mark Coleman called Shake Your Moneymaker the kind of streamlined, super tight groove album that bar bands dream of making. And,
that's a great synopsis.
yeah. Rolling Stone readers and critics voted the Black Crowes best new American band at the end of 1990. They were on covers of magazines. ZZ Top had them open for them, and then
I saw that too.
did you?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it before
Yeah.
they were kicked off.
Yeah.
because that was sponsored by I think it was sponsored. That tour was sponsored by one of the beer companies.
I think Budweiser.
I think it might have been Budweiser, and Chris Robinson took issue with having a corporate sponsor, and they were asked to leave the ZZ Top tour. So I'm glad you got to see them. How were they?
They were great.
Oh yeah, I saw them every chance I could. Like when I first heard them, I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, it's so funny because like you listen to the Stones and you know that they're a British band, but they sound, a lot of their stuff sounds like it could be like Southern rock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how is a British band like interpreting this stuff and then sending it back to us, and it's so good. And then like I said, the first time I heard these guys, I'm like, these dudes have to be British.
Yeah, they have to be.
There was another band around the same time called the London Choir Boys. Do you remember that band?
No.
Their big hit was 7 O'Clock. And they, to me, sounded like the Faces. So
I really like the
Oh
Faces.
man, and they are so gritty, and it's the same thing. They are a British band, but yeah, man, pretty much been on board with the Black Crowes since the beginning. It was just, we've talked about it before, in the face of all of the stuff that was going on, hair metal and all of the changes that were going on. Here's this back to basics, rock and roll band that's just killer. And I'm really glad they're back together. They're recording new music, putting albums out, touring. What else can you ask for? Actually, Chris Robinson is singing in Joe Perry's Joe Perry Project shows that he...
Nice.
I think they only did like 10 dates, but he's singing with them. So, yeah. I mean, I'm glad they realized that the feud between the brothers was not nearly as important as the music for the listeners. But yeah, Shake Your Moneymaker, folks. Not the greatest cover, but it's a very, very good album. And that's it, man.
That covers it.
There's another great album. That covers the Rick Rubin, some of our favorite Rick Rubin releases. Now, like I said, he does have a podcast. You can dig into that if you'd like. Read some more stuff about him because it's really interesting.
He's interesting. And just one more thing on Rick. So Johnny Cash said that Rick Rubin reminded him of Sam Phillips
from Sun Records.
No
kidding.
He's like, this bearded guy with no shoes reminds me of Sam Phillips.
Well, I could see that. And he's I think he's a Buddhist.
He probably is.
I don't quote me on that.
The Zen master.
Yeah, kind of a Zen master, like a peaceful presence.
Yeah.
I could see just about anybody being comfortable with a presence like that when you're under the gun. Under the
creative gun.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking on studio time.
Yeah. Yeah. But, Rick Rubin is just one of many producers that we could do an entire show on. So if you guys have any producers that you'd like us to highlight in a future show, please share those with us on the social medias. We want you to, again, subscribe to this YouTube page if you have not. You can also go to Fourth Wall. You can join for free or at different levels. You can give as little or as much as you want to. You can get exclusive merch and behind-the-scenes video content if you throw a couple shekels at us. But when they go to the social media, what do we want them to do again, John?
Well, subscribe, comment,
yes,
and share.
And sharing is caring. We just want to thank all of you guys for coming along on this little trip that we've been on for, 91 episodes now? Most of all, we want you guys to enjoy your music, to get intimate with your collection, because the only way to do that is to flip through them and throw them on the turntable. So do that, and we'll see you guys again in another 3 weeks. For Wheels, I'm Jay, and we'll see you all the next time around.